Welcome to Juby Outdoors. This week we're talking about our Lippert Leveling System. We're going to go through one of the most common questions that we see asked online, and that is how to reset the 0-point calibration on the leveling system. You have to do that anytime the leveling system starts to act wonky, whether that's raising your trailer way up too high off the ground or not leveling correctly. You have to reset the 0-point. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to also go over some of the problems we've had with our leveling system, what we did to correct it, how we diagnosed some of that. So hopefully, if you're having an issue with your leveling system, maybe this will help you out. Let's get to it. So the leveling system that's used on our 2019 Grand Design fifth wheel is the Lippert Ground Control 3.0. Some of this information is going to apply whether you had the 3.0, whether you had the older 2.0 model. A lot of this information is going to cross over. The first thing we're going to show you how to do though is reset the 0-point calibration. Ours has been a little off when we've leveled it recently, so we went ahead and got it level manually, and I'll show you how to reset that. So basically you're going to need to use a regular, I have a 4-foot level, so I put it right in the middle of the kitchen floor, use the controls to manually level it, and then reset the 0-point, and it'll save it. A lot of times, like I mentioned, a lot of people have a situation where the leveling system will raise the RV way too high during the leveling process. It will get it so high that sometimes the wheels will even come off the ground when you're on a flat level site. It's not uncommon for the wheels to come off the ground if your sight's unlevel, but if your sight's level, the wheels should not, the tires shouldn't come off the ground. First thing we're going to do, like I said, we leveled it manually. If you don't know how to level manually, basically you turn the leveling system on, you go into manual mode. So you'll just select, you scroll through till you get to manual mode. You'll push enter, and now you're ready to level manually. So you see that ours shows that we're off just slightly, but I've checked it with our level on the floor, and we are actually level right now. So all that's good. Once you get it level and where you want it, you turn the system off. And to reset the 0-point calibration, you're going to push the front button 5 times and the rear button 5 times. And then the screen will light up and it'll give you some prompts to save it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0-point calibration. And if it's where you want it, you push enter to set it. 0-point is set. It's going to check it, make sure everything's good. It's set successfully, and then it turns itself off. And that's all there is to it, to set the 0-point calibration. Not hard to do at all. I would recommend doing it if you're setting your trailer up very frequently, like we are. You know, we're full-time, so we move a lot, and every time we move, we're resetting it up. So it's good just to do this every now and then. It just kind of keeps everything level so that your auto level works the way it's supposed to. The auto level system is a fantastic feature, but it does get annoying if it starts raising the trailer up or not leveling it correctly. So we had a nice level site here to do this, leveled it manually so that we knew it was good to go, and then we just reset it, and that's all there is to it. A call I get from a lot of customers when I have to go out and do service calls on their units for our RV repair business, a lot of customers get jack error codes. So sometimes that is an issue with the jack, but even if it's a minor issue, like a wiring issue or something like that, once that error code shows up, even after you fix whatever the issue is, you still have to clear that code. So let's say, for example, you're letting your jacks down, and you know, for whatever reason a fuse to one of the jacks blows, just for an example. You're going to get a jack error code. Let's say you get a left front jack error code. Even after you replace the fuse or correct whatever the issue is, and the jack now works manually, it's not going to auto level until you clear that jack error. So the way you're going to do that to clear the jack error code is you have to extend all the jacks down at least 6 inches and then retract all of them back up. So you can go into the auto level system, manually extend them. So you'll select manual mode, you'll push the front button so everything extends down in the front. You'll push the rear button, extend the rear down 6 inches, and then you can scroll through to the retract all feature, retract them all up, and then that should clear any of the jack error codes as long as the problem has been corrected. The very first issue we had with our leveling system, we'd only had this unit for about 2 weeks, and we started getting a left rear jack error code. It would not clear, and the jack wouldn't lower manually, so the jack was totally inoperative. I checked the power to it. We had power going back to the jack. It was pretty clear to me that there was a problem with the jack motor itself, but I made a phone call to Lippert to check into getting a new one replaced under warranty, and some of the steps that we went through just to verify, I'll show you what we had to do. After I told them what the voltages were, verified that we had power back at the actual jack connector going to that motor, the last step they made us do to make sure that, or just to kind of verify that it wasn't an issue with the controller, which is located right here. So this is our front storage area. This is a controller for the jacks. You see we have 4 fuses, we have connectors. This is left rear, left front, right rear, and then right front. So what we did was, since the left rear was what was having the issue, we took this connector from the left rear, we switched the left rear and the right rear. So I moved this over to this side, and basically we did that to see if the problem moved. So if we switch connectors, if we took the left rear connector and moved it to the right rear, and our problem then moved to the right rear, that would indicate that it's a problem with the actual controller itself and not in the jack motor. But we switched them and nothing happened. The problem still stayed with that left rear. So that was just kind of a really quick way and an easy way to troubleshoot and see if the problem was in that motor itself, in the jack, or perhaps we had a controller issue going on. So since ours was a problem with the jack, we had to lower it manually to be able to get it down. I'll show you how we did that. So if you have an electric leveling system, and I'm going to show you over here on the other side. I'm not going to show you the left rear. It's a pain to get to with this slide out. So if you have a electric leveling system, the motors actually have a manual way that you can lower them if you have an electrical problem or if the motor fails. So here's our motor right here, and this plug in the bottom, you pull that plug out of the bottom of the motor, and inside there is a 5/16 head bolt. So it's right up inside there, 5/16 head. So what I was able to do was I put a 5/16 bit in my drill, and I was able to use my drill, stick it up in there, and run that jack down to lower it to get the trailer stable while we were waiting for the new motor to show up. So that particular problem with the rear jack was pretty easy to take care of. Just used my drill and ran the jack motor up and down. You know, I mean, it wasn't ideal by any means, because it does take a lot of time. I would not want to do that by hand. If you were using a ratchet, you would be there forever trying to turn that nut enough to lower the jack down. Definitely do it with a drill, or maybe like a little impact or something like that that's going to spin that thing fast to get that jack motor down. The next problem we had with our leveling system was actually one of the front jacks, and that one is a little trickier. So the front landing gear is located right here in the understorage here in the front, but as you can see, there's not enough room to get a drill in here. So there's no way that I could manually get that down. I mean, I could use a ratchet and sit here for ever and ever and ever to lower it down, but in our particular situation that wouldn't have mattered, because the gears inside the actual landing gear leg broke, or I never took it apart to see exactly what happened, but something happened inside there. Basically, when we got to our spot to set up, the leg kind of, as soon as it started to go down, it just dropped down really fast and wouldn't hold any weight whatsoever. I could push up and down and move the leg up with my hand. So something was broke inside. I took the motor off the top. If you have to get the motor off to inspect it, it's not hard. It's just this bolt right here. You take that out and you can pick this whole motor up off the top of the landing gear leg. So it's not hard to get the motor off, but the motor wasn't our issue. I took it off. I couldn't really see down in there even after we replaced the landing gear. I have a video that we did showing how to replace that front landing gear leg, but it gave us a jack error code. So even after we got the landing gear fixed, we had to clear that code by lowering all the jacks 6 inches and then retracting them all. That's really the only problem we've had with our leveling system. Overall, it's been very reliable. One other issue that we did have also, I think, so we had the 2 jack issues, and then we did have an issue. We went to leave and I went to power it up, and the power wouldn't come on to the controller. It wouldn't turn on. That ended up being, so you can see all of our wiring back here. So the power to that controller is connected underneath here on this block. So the wire actually pulled out of the connector, so I had to repair the connector before we could turn that on. So if you're having a power issue, this block is going to be somewhere to start, so that you can see, you know, make sure all your connectors are good and tight and no wires have pulled out. So that one caused me a little bit of panic, because we typically don't wait till right up until the very minute of checkout to leave. That particular day we were running behind, and it was time for us to go, and we just turned the leveling system on and it was totally dead. So a little bit of a panic moment there, but it just, you know, whenever you have a situation with the RV, anything, and especially electrical or something like that, or something that has been working great, no issues, and all of a sudden it stops working, just take a second, think about where it gets its power from. Check, you know, obviously check your connections at your batteries first. Check connections like that that bus bar, that block that has all the wiring connected on it. Make sure your connectors are good. I mean, these things from the factory, a lot of those connections, a lot of them are not crimped very well, and wires do pull out pretty easy sometimes. That pretty much covers every issue that we have had with our leveling system, which isn't many. Over 7 years, that's the 3 problems that we've had. 2 of them were a failure on the actual leveling system. 1 was a failure on the power wire. So not bad. If you have any questions about your leveling system, electronic leveling systems, hydraulics leveling systems are a whole nother beast entirely. They work completely different. This is just for electronic leveling systems. If you have any questions about them, have a question that I didn't answer, definitely leave it in the comments. If I can help you out, I definitely will. That's going to do it for now. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.